Okay, this is Blaine Plastering for Beginners, and today we're going to do the Battle of the Spatulas. We're going to cover two big companies here. We've got Refina VS OX with the OX SPeedskim, and we're just going to find out which one's the best one, give you a better idea on which ones to buy, which one's getting the best results, and just, really delve deep into this subject, because I know it's a big thing that everyone's asking about, which spatulas to get, are they good, are they worth it, and we're just going to go into this and continue from the Plasmag. So let's do it. So the first one up is the OX SF, which is the OX SPeedskim with the steel blade. I just prefer the steel contact. I don't like the way that the plastic makes the plaster go off faster. I've always liked that steel contact, so we're starting with this. And as you can see in the clip, this is a fairly big one. This is a 1.2 metre. So we've got a nice bit of range on this. Sorry, actually, I'm totally lying. It's a 900, this one. So it's fairly big, but not as big as a 1.2. And as you can see in the video, it's already flattening it straight away. As I've gone through in the magazine, don't use it straight away, because it is a slightly flexible material. But it really does make light work. The only qualm with the OX SPeedskim for me is the handle. I just think it gets in the way a little bit, especially when you've got the blade close to the plaster to really get it flat. I just find it can be a bit obtrusive between you and the wall. Other than that, I've liked the way it's worked. The only thing as well with this blade, it does seem to pick up a lot more plaster than its counterpart, the Rafina one, which I will go into in a moment. It just seems to drag a bit more plaster from the wall, and I don't know if that's because it's raised and it's pulling it back for a reason, but it just seems a bit clunky. But as you can see, I've gone left to right, and now I'm going up and vertical, up and down with it as well. And it's just to get the walls as flat as possible, really. But it's making light work of it. Look how fast it's going through. The size as well. For me, the 900 is a good size for flattening and getting big areas hit fast. So that's the OX SPeedskim 900 with the steel blade. That's that one. Next up, we've got the Refina Spatula, and this has got an ergo grip, they call it. It's a bit more of a bent grip there. And I must admit, straight off the bat, this is immediately nicer to use. I hate to always support Rafina. I've got no ties to them whatsoever. I don't get anything for doing this, but they just make good tools. Like in the clip, it's just everything's so easy with them. The handle's nice to hold. Your fingers are out the way when you're using it, so you don't get in contact with the wall. And the blade is thinner, which means you've got to be careful using it early doors. This OX SPeedskim has slightly thicker blade on their metal one, but it just works so well, and it don't pick up any plaster either. It don't take anything off the wall, and it just makes for a smoother experience. I'm not constantly worried about it dragging. Like the OX SPeedskim seems to drag a lot. This just seems to glide through it, and like I said, I hate to always support it, but they just make good tools, and they've got this one down to a T. Like as you can see in the video, I'm wetting the edges down, getting everything right and ready for it. But it is just a very good tool to use. This is the 24-inch one, so slightly smaller, and I must admit, as a size for control, this is perfect. I really like it towards the later stages, so you can really start working your angles in, starting getting your angles nice and crisp without worrying about it being too long. There's a lot of control over this, and it is just a very good tool. So for this size, I do actually really like. I am tempted to say the 900 one is probably better because it'll get your walls flatter. But to have, if you had any extra cash, I would get one of these 24-inch ones because they're just really handy. It's really handy to use. And like I said, you've got so much more control over it. So yeah, this is a brilliant piece of kit. As you can see, I've worked across the wall, and I always come up the opposite direction as well. It just means you're going to get a flatter wall overall. I'm wetting the edges, so it's taking a bit more time. But I must admit, the Rafina has got the upper hand on OX SPeedskim for this. The grip's so much better. It's a better blade to use. It's a better product. The only thing that I do like about the OX SPeedskims is that you can change the blades. You can mix and match them. If one goes a bit dud, you can replace it with the same one. You can replace it to the plastic one if you wanted. But if I want to be fussy about that, I would say that Rafina have got a better product. So this is a Speedskim PF, and it's essentially designed just for finishing. This is a 1.2 meter rule I'm using now, so it's the biggest one out of the lot I've got. And I must admit, I was quite impressed with this little bad boy. It's basically the exact same as a Plasiflex blade, but made from obviously ox rather than Rafina. It's good for big areas just to finish it off, and it's that plastic touch which gives it a really nice finish. So as you can see, the good thing about the 1.2 meter rules and the spatulas, I just get so much area covered. Like, it just gets it done in such a short amount of time. But I find the bigger the spatula, the least amount of control you get over it. You know, the smaller the easier they are to use. So I suppose if you've got a massive wall, it's where 1.2 meter comes into its own, really. But like I said, a good piece of kit, and you'll see in a minute. I'll put the camera right up to the finished wall. And this has just finished the wall in no time whatsoever. So I actually really like this product from Ox, the PF blade. I think Refina do one as well. I've not trialed that one, so I can't really give a verdict on it. But this is a plastic finishing blade, as I said, and it's just made a meal out of it. Do you know what I mean? That's done in about 1 minute. Now look at the finish. It's flat, no ripples anywhere, nice smooth finish, job done. So that's it. The winner for me, like I stated, was a Refina Spat. The handle's a lot better. It was nicer to use on the wall. It didn't take any plaster off. It was just an all-round better product. The only thing I didn't like about it is that you can't replace the blades. That's the only thing that I would actually change. But as an overall product, this is a winner for me. It just did the job a lot nicer than the Ox Speedskim. And I've found that with all their products, actually. I find that they're all a bit clunky, and they just don't react very well with the plaster. So for me, the Rafina alternative was the winner. In terms of size, I'm going to say 900 is that happy medium. You've got the length where you get a big area flattened, yet it's not too big where you don't have any control over it. So I'm going to go for that in terms of size. But I was impressed with the PF blade that I showed at the end. Really good 1.2 meter finishing tool just to get big areas done in speed. So that's my verdict. The winner is for me the Rafina Ergo Grip stainless steel blade in 900. I would recommend. But it's good to have that little one if you've got the extra money, the 24-inch one, but I would stick to the 900. So that's the review. Hope you found it useful, and I hope you enjoy reading the rest of Plast Mag. Get in there and watch how I use the tools and why I didn't really go for the Ox plastic one if you're interested. Cheers.